Hi, welcome back to our channel, KP Adventure. Can we swap our old diesel heater for our new diesel heater? Will it work in our camper van? That's what the diesel heater was. It was underneath. Right, I've got new diesel heater which I tested, same as the old one, but I'm pretty sure the printed circuit board that's inside that has on the old one it's got hot, it's got cold. I've then fired it up when it's stone cold. As it's heated up, it's got condensation on it, it's probably short circuited. So I think it's best, because mine's outside in a steel box, I think it's best to have it inside where it's a lot warmer in here. I also have electric in here that runs off the solar panels, 500 watts, it's just clicked back on. And yeah, so let's give it a go. So one of the perils of being me is sometimes you don't always remember everything. So this is air ducting, as you can see, it's nice and new, and you use it. Let me grab hold of this. You use it to stick on the end of the diesel heater at that end, and then this end, and then you can put one of these in the end of it. If I can never get the damn thing to fit, because it's burred over. There we go. So anyway, and then you can have an outlet exhaust, whatever you like to call it. Warm air will come out of here. So then, in the kit, they give you a T-piece. And in this T-piece, you think to yourself, fantastic, I wish this thing would stop. If I press X, there we go, that'll stop that from swinging about. Right, and then you get a T-piece, goes in like so, and then you need a bit of ducting to put the end on, a bit of ducting to put the end on. So, you remember me seeing the ducting that I pulled off the old diesel heater and just sent it through the bottom. Anyway, so then I found that one of my neighbours had moved and I've got a better car parking space closer to all my tools. Well, hey, what more could you ask for? So, quickly get in the vehicle and move the vehicle quickly before somebody nicks the space. Yeah. This is what one looks like before you run it over, and this is what one looks like after you've run it over. Unfortunately, the plastic elbow is what alerted the crunch of what I was doing. The only problem was yeah, I started squashing it at this end, and then when I got to that end, I realised what I was doing. So the whole lot is, well, suppose it's handy if you want a flat mate, I suppose. So the hole was originally made for the hot air coming from the diesel heater into the cabin. It just so happens, if I move these Jubilee clips around, that it will actually fit and there'll be enough room to make sure that none of the heat gets into the floor. I do still have to find a way to getting the wiring loom down there. So here you can see I'm actually removing the old diesel heater from the steel box that is looking rather worse for wear from underneath the vehicle. The diesel line that you can still see connected up, I will continue to use, but I will extend it and plug it into the new diesel heater. So I drill a hole and realise that my drill bit isn't big enough. So regarding the fuse on the positive side, I managed to activate the little tab, pull the actual wire connector out and then put it through the hole. But unfortunately the connector for the diesel pump is too big for my hole. I need to cut it and rejoin it. So I'm going to use the old diesel pump, so that way I have a spare, and also because I'm not going to separate the line from the tank to the pump, I won't get air into it, so I won't have to bleed it. I eventually get the old steel box out with all the old ducting which hadn't been removed from the original diesel heater, which was replaced with the cheap Chinese diesel heater, which I've now replaced with another cheap Chinese diesel heater. And here you see me mounting the old fuel pump, which happens to work very well. You can see the new extended line, which will allow me to take out the diesel heater from the inside and without having to separate the fuel line. And here you see me plugging in the connector to the fuel pump, which I will now have to manually connect to the wire that I cut earlier. And here you see me salvaging the old exhaust. I want to extend the exhaust by I can use the new exhaust pipe to go into the silencer, which isn't much cop, but it's ideal extender, and then plug in the old exhaust, and then that can go off to where I wish to place it. So that's all the underneath of the van done. Now all I've got to do is finish off the ducting and then test it. Install one diesel heater under the... Now I know about the air intake, should come from outside. This van is amazingly drafty. It has loads and loads of air which is coming in all the time. I'll show you in a second. Right, so I've got to go into a two-piece, coming out into here. I'll finish all this off later. And then there's that two-piece, and then it goes up, round the back, round here, and into here. So it's starting to burn now. And then, so it's two vents. Now this vent, it's coming out lukewarm at the moment. This vent eventually will go through the wall, and it'll end up coming out somewhere in the shower wall. I'm thinking the door is this side. Probably not going to run the shower water too much onto the door, so we probably tend to run it over here more, so staying away from the vent. Have the heater vent facing down, and that should stop the water from getting in. And then this can become a drying room. And it's coming out lukewarm, yeah, very nice. And this is about 3 or 4 degrees lower. The metal, obviously this warms as well, so it acts like a radiator. Perhaps I should just have that going round in the bathroom and dry the towels on it. Thanks for watching my channel. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It's completely free.